Hey, Shalom, Shalom. When the start was always by giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Dash, double honors to the apostles of GMS, and honors to you brothers doing the work in truth, what sincerity. This one, it's just going to be a quick one. It's a place, and there's, what you call it, a Spanish woman, where she's speaking to this and the other, and of course, the comparisons, come on, what do you think about England, whatever, what have you. And then, one of the things she said was, it's more open-minded. Right now, I had to ask, what did you, would you mean by open-minded, etc., etc. Right, and then she starts going into how, basically the direction I expected her to go into, which is, the fact that all of this wickedness in this world is accepted. Right, she's like, oh, like in Spain, the homosexuality, it's although it's they saying although they can marry over in Spain, it's still frowned upon, right? And so whereas over here, you can do whatever, and the people who change their sex, I mean, it's natural, and I'm listening to this woman like, well, what about chopping your rod off is natural, right? That's just the wickedness of the world that we live in, where things like this, are what do you call it, are pushed, and then people think that these things are natural. But then it goes back to something that I've theorized for a while, which is that with these, what do you call it, and this is what the scriptures say, right? With these things, Esau goes to the woman, right, and then the woman then passes it to a man, and then a man, and then you end up with this cesspit that we're in today. Right now, let's say I was that woman's husband or boyfriend and I wasn't in this truth. All I'll be hearing, let's say we have an argument, and you know how men are pussies to their argument. Are what do you call it, pussies to their woman. Right, and the scriptures tell you about it. Let me get, go on a slight tangent real quick. This is, what do you call it, man. So my mind just blanked out there. This is 1 Corinthians 11 and 7. It says, for a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High. But the woman is the glory of the man. So the woman is the glory of the man. You're the woman, she's your glory. You go out, what do you call it? In fact, let me get this as well. What does it say? What does it say? Ezra's many wits, and then many there be at. So I can't find the scripture. I see it. There we go. Right, this is First Ezra's 4. In fact, when we saw. So I don't really want to read all into it. Let me read from verse 20. It says, a man leaveth his own father that brought him up in his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife. He sticketh, did I call that? First Ezra 4:22 and 20. It says, a man leaveth his own father that brought him up, and his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father nor mother nor country. Right? You take a look at Jacob, for instance. Well, he worked them 7 years, thinking, yo man, I got Rachel at the end of this, right? But he didn't even have Rachel, and he worked hard again, right? He worked hard for one of those those two wives, and it says, what do you call it? The time he spent, working for Rachel, it felt like a week, right? So he was madly in love with her to work that hard for that long, and for it to, what do you call it, not even feel like anything to him, right? It says, a man leaveth his own father that brought him up in his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father nor mother nor country. To this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring also women? Right, and especially in this world where what do you call men have completely been overran by women. Right, let's go here. It's a Jeremiah 31 and 22, right? It says, how long will thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man, right? So a woman's now over a man. You see that, especially here in the West, right? Where women basically know that they've got the power of the pussy. And they know that they control men. They can control men with the power of the pussy, right? Because hey, right now they've been given liberty to what do you call it, to keep that pussy under wraps, man, to just be like, nah, I ain't, you ain't getting this unless you do this, and every man just simps, right, and then just follows along. Right, so we go back to this, right? It says, do you not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? When I was with one of my work colleagues, the other day, last Friday, and he was basically telling me how man, I'm bankrupt because of my wife. Right, but he works. He gets he makes money. I think he makes money, a lot of money. That guy does, right? And he's saying he's bankrupt because of his woman and that, right? And that's the thing. What was it that I forgot what comedian? Maybe Eddie Griffin or Eddie Murphy. One of them guys made a joke about how if you could live in a cardboard box and please you do that shit. But that's what the scriptures say. You work hard. That's right. What do these guys do? They work hard so they can buy the German whips. So they can buy the Mercedes, the BMW, whatever. Also that they can try and attract these women. And when they get these women, they're working hard so that they can buy this woman Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all of these, stupid brands, right? And then we carry on. It says, yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and steal and sail upon the sea and upon rivers, right? This is and looketh upon a lion, and goeth into darkness, and when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth this to his love. Hey, that is Jake right now, man. Right, Jake will go, do some mean mugging, go do this, go do that, right, just to bring it to his woman. Right? It says, wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Right, so, many have also perished, have erred and sinned for women. Right, and what's one of those sins? One of those sins is then starting to accept the mark, the image of the beast. And what's part of the image? This man's philosophies, right? Homosexuality, transgenderism, woman over the man, women's rights, all of that bullshit. Right? Like I said, I went through all that tangent, basically say, what do you call it? That scriptural tangent, spiritual tangent, right? Is to basically say, look, man, Esau proposed an idea to these women, right? And then because of as I read in First Corinthians, the woman is the glory of the man, right? So then, what do you call it? Then you have your woman there. That is, guys in the world that have their woman there, and the woman will be like, but it's natural, it's natural. And he may try to argue, but then she'll throw a fit, start crying or whatever, and he'll go, oh, baby, I'm sorry, baby, right? And then after a while, he's going to start saying, but it's natural, it's natural, it's natural, right? So now I can get the first scripture, right? It says, Sirach 25 and 24 says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die, right? And that is the truth. Like I said, I read the scripture said it, not I said it. I'm just going off. Like the scripture says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Right, and that's what's happening in this world. These women are be pushing all of these ideologies, all of these philosophies. When these men just jump up and they go with it. Right, this love, but it's all about love. It's natural, open-minded. Right, which for me, love is the new do as thou wilt. Right, because but love in it, Oh, what? So you're gonna damage your woman's rectum, right? What about love? Right, and if it's all about love, why can't I have more than one woman? If we all happily shared, what do you call it? We're happily married. We had a massive house, a couple outhouses, for when they're on the moon or whatever, right? And then we all loved each other. That Esau didn't love that. Right, it says 1 Timothy 2:13. So for Adam was first formed, then Eve. It says, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. Right, that serpent that represents Esau. That serpent in the garden that came to Eve, that represents Esau, and that's what he's doing again, going straight to the woman. Well, hey, that's why there was a what do you call it? That's why Esau's worked so hard to get the man out of the house. And I go straight to the woman, and then once you've got the woman, then the men follow. That's what this women's lib's all about. You know, these women, as I'm about to get, in fact, I'll quote it, I've got it here. First Peter 3:7 says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. Right, and that's the thing. When you, as a man, right, and that's what men in the world don't do, but as a man in this truth, you're supposed to dwell with your woman according to knowledge, right? You know, you're supposed to deal with her, as righteously as you can. Obviously, these women are wicked, and they ain't gonna, you might try to be like, yo, babe, I don't want you wearing any trousers. Bitch is gonna wear trousers, man. Right, the bitch is gonna do whatever the fuck she wants to do because this is the world that we live in. Right now, some men, some men will wanna put more stringent boundaries than other men. Right, but what does the scripture say? What the Most High had to join, let no man cast asunder. Right, in Matthew was it 19, right? So basically, the woman, Lord's giving you a woman, right? And she's under your vibration, and she'll do so much. She'll go to a certain level wherein she'll do this, that, and the other, right? But then you might try and be like, which is why scripture say, "Be not righteous over much." You gotta know your woman. You might tell her, you don't say all these women are fucking wicked. Man, we're wicked, right? All these, we went up against the Lord, and our woman's gonna go up against us, right? So yeah, this is dwell with them according to knowledge. But obviously, you see, some Dutch starts talking to you about homosexuality. Me personally, I'll curse the bitch out, man. Like this one, then, because I got one A in my woman, but it's like, at the end of the day, man, no man knoweth the way, right? But you're supposed to deal with them according to knowledge. Give this is so I'll carry on. It says, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and that's the thing. She's the weaker vessel. Right, and you got to treat her as such. That's why they'll do dumb shit. That's why they might come in wearing a neck choker and all of that. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Might come in with their titties out and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Right? I mean, yeah. Let me carry on. It says, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Right, so the point I wanted to get there is that these women are the weaker vessels, which is why they're gonna try and push on you some homosexuality. That's why they're gonna try, push on some transgenderisms. Your child can be whatever they want to be. You even said something to that. Oh, you speak about, I think she said something like kids dressing in dresses or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But that's just the world we live in, man. It says Habakkuk 2:15 says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest that bottle to him, and makest them drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. And that drink is talking about philosophies, right? And that's what Esau's done with his homosexuality, right? He basically put that, that perverse spirit, right? He's pushed that spirit onto people, right? He put people in gross darkness, right? Isaiah 60:2, where it says, for behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. Right, but the Lord Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Right, and what's over the world right now is a gross a gross darkness. The very fact that we'll be out there saying that homosexuality is through, not transgenderism is through, but everyone's getting looked at sideways. Right, each time there's been a pride, whilst we've been at camp. Right, so you've had some fucking young Becky all trying to cry. Oh, yeah, why are you here? Of all days, why are you here? Right, as if to say the prophets of the Lord are gonna take a day off just so you can, do your wickedness. What does the scriptures say? Right, it says in Isaiah 58:1. Right, it says, cry loud and spare not. So we ain't gonna spare your feelings. We ain't gonna not come to camp because it's Pride London. Right, it says, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and that's what brothers were doing. right? Obviously, scripture said be wise as a serpent, so we weren't just going around, just doing some dumb shit. Obviously, you move in wisdom. You ain't gonna have, just straight pointing at someone and be like, oh, you fucking faggot or whatever. Because why? That's in this kingdom, that's a straight hate crime, right? You're going to jail, right? It says, and show my people their transgressions. That's what we do, right? It says, in the house of Jacob their sins, right? So yeah, it says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink." Right, all of these philosophies that what you call it, Esau pushes out. And I'll end on this. Right, it's the second Ezra 15 and 18 because they're like talking about Pride London, Pride Manchester, Pride New York, Pride Tel Aviv. Right, it says, "For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Right, so you like what do you call it? You get all these cities where they'll be putting up, the what do you call it? These rainbow flags and all of that. For and then the worst thing is the rainbow is supposed to be something righteous, but now it's something wicked. Like you've got all these people who's putting up the rainbow flags, not knowing that they just mock themselves, man. Because they've drunk of the wine of the what do you call it? They've drunk of this wine, Esau's philosophy. But yeah, that wasn't a quick one. But Lord's always edifying as always. Until the next time, shalom.